Cookie here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
It's freedom of speech, man. That's cool. And that actually should be the title of our podcast. It's free speech as long as I agree with it. It's a long title. It's free speech and it's acceptable as long as I agree with it.
You know what free speech is? Free speech is you can leave us a text, you can leave us a voicemail, you can message us on social media.
We don't throttle anything. We don't
No.
We don't stifle you.
Do you have anybody
beliefs.
blocked?
I don't think I have any. You mean on Twitter or Facebook? I don't think I have anybody blocked.
I have some people like muted. I'm not mad at them. I'm just like they just talk too much.
Yeah.
No big deal. And I get it. If somebody does that to me, that's fine too. That's and I'm not offended if somebody unfollows.
I am. So don't unfollow.
Well,
that's
on
stupid.
Facebook is different than Twitter. On Facebook, you friend somebody, and then if they unfriend you, that's pretty direct. But Twitter, people follow, they unfollow. It's just kind of like what you're looking for, the conversation you're looking for. You're looking for the information you're looking for. So you're looking for what you want to show up in your timeline. That's, to me, again, I know I've said this 1,000 times. That, to me, is the joy and the difference between Facebook and Twitter. Twitter, I can decide what's in my timeline. Facebook, if somebody friends you and you friend them, short of muting them for 30 days, you're going to get their stuff, whatever it is that they put out in their timeline, whether you want to or not. And Twitter, you decide who you follow. So you decide when you find yourself saying, why is all this crap in my timeline? Look in the mirror and say, I need to drop some names.
You can mute people on Facebook as well.
For like 30 days.
Yeah. And there are certain, they say that you can not see any notifications from this person or whatever, but if you have them as a friend, then why mute them or block?
Facebook is a different platform than Twitter. So Facebook, you're just going to be in the community center. That's basically what it is. Facebook is the community center, and timeline is just the timeline on Twitter is more. That's just like where people post their stuff. Some people, granted, are looking for the likes and the retweets, and they're trying to be scandalous, but it depends on the audience that you attract. So it's not like if I follow this guy, he has to follow me. When
you're in your account and then you switch over to your ghost account or whatever, do you change clothes or do you just go in like JT? Because you have
pretty much when I'm home, I have the cape on all the time.
Pretty much.
So I just have to kind of dial it back a little when I go into my account. Because I know.
I do have some people blocked. I didn't even realize that I had anybody blocked. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And a lot of, there's a handful of, it's porn practice. I mean, stuff that I'm sure it was spam.
I'm shocked you blocked them.
Right. Well, yeah, this is, Yo Finetti is blocked, and that profile picture is sketchy at best.
I gotta look at mine now.
There's
I don't
a couple
think I
other.
do. You're on Twitter?
But I don't remember blocking these people. Yeah, this is Twitter. I don't remember physically blocking them, but but they're all sketcho accounts.
Anymore, though, with Twitter, with any of the stuff, you just don't know what your algorithm is.
Yeah.
You really don't know. You don't know who it is who's seeing your stuff and who's not.
I tweeted out something yesterday, and I got an email from LinkedIn that said, congratulate 3 new people on new positions, or 3 people on new positions, right? It sends you that email.
Okay.
And it was two of the 3 were pictured, and one was Farrah Abraham, and the other one was an old friend of ours, Rob Crane, who used to work for the Omaha Royals. And so I'm like, well, I wonder if those positions are a little different when you're talking about Farrah.
Hers is more actual. His is more name on
and
the
no, she's
name on
not
the door.
A member of the clergy. That's not what missionary means. Completely different.
I don't think that's her religion at all.
No,
I'm gonna
it's
say.
not. Well, I don't know. It's
based
could be a religion.
I don't know. Anyway, so that being said, there we go. I don't know where all that came from, but just talking about.
I just puked out Twitter a little bit.
I can't even find who I have
on
Twitter.
And yesterday we talked. We didn't talk that much about the West Maple Rock, 156 Rock.
156 Maple Rock.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it, but I saw on the news last night on Channel 7 had a story about that black SUV up on this rock. We were talking about it and saw some random stuff on Facebook last night about it.
I'm going to say the black SUV was quite a spectacle. As far as I know right now, that person hasn't been outed who you are.
I doubt myself. I mean, if you're stupid enough to do it, own it. Don't be ashamed. You have a big, humongous black Suburban that's at a 45 on a rock. Just own it.
Might as well get ahead of it.
Right.
Get ahead of it.
Own it.
Because you had tweeted, this I thought was hilarious, because you had tweeted out, have you guys seen the pictures of people getting their cars high centered on the rock off Maple Street? And the rock responded. And I think the rock's all over social media. Goes by Large Rock, has 787 followers on Twitter. I am one of them. I think it was around 400 when I followed. So people definitely making traction here. But responded and said, podcasting will never take off, they said. No one will switch from radio, they said. If you put a large rock there, no one will drive over the curb anymore, they said. And rocks don't have feelings or use technology either. Hashtag they don't know.
That's awesome. They don't know what they don't know.
I love it. So, and now I got to check his feed and see what he's been up to. Yeah, so he's been posting some good stuff up here.
And we got a text from somebody about that too. It is from somebody without leave us your name when you guys text us. Just every time at the bottom.
Even if it's a fake first name.
Sure, it doesn't matter. It says, okay, hey y'all, heard you guys talking about the West Maple Rock this morning. I know you talked about that Twitter account. However, if you don't already know, the Facebook group's pretty neat. It has less than 500 members last month, but now it's over 6,000 with people all over the world. It's absolutely nuts. And then this person, boy or girl, sent us a link to the Facebook group. So it had about 400 last month, and it's over 6,000 this month. People
the
all over the
Facebook
world.
page.
Yep, Facebook page. So we'll grab that. It's we'll share that on our Facebook page as well. The Rock.
So the City Cafe in Newman Grove, they had sent out, said maybe we should donate pies to the victims of the Maple Rock.
Do it. That's a great idea.
The Rock responded, maybe you could donate them to the real victim, the Rock.
The Rock's the one getting hit all the time.
Oh my God.
It's so embarrassing, not to go back over this whole thing again like we did yesterday, but just when you curb check in general, when you curb check something, you go into a parking lot or you're backing out of a parking lot and you poof, and it's just so humiliating.
It's
putting
like
yourself
whiffing at softball.
It's but with a louder noise.
And even if it doesn't make a big noise, the people behind you can see you because you kind of rock back and forth.
It's just embarrassing.
I did it the other day, and I've got it. Knock on wood, definitely here, because I'm almost at the end of my lease. Right, I've got 6 weeks left, and no damage on my car. Okay, yeah, there was a deer, but thank you, Shadow Lake. Nobody knows. Okay, so anyway, but checking the wheels. Not your tires, the wheels, to see, and there's no scuff marks. Because I remember there were a couple people we used to work with that regularly rode the rails.
Scuff marks all over my caps. I do. You saw me hit the curb.
You just don't know how big your toboggan is. Is that what that is?
Well, the older I get, the wider my chassis. Is that what it is?
You need to take a little wider turn there, just a little wider.
Yeah, I just get it.
I did that the other day, and I'm just like, oh my God! It happened on my corner too. They recently had widened the street, so they've widened the sidewalks a little bit. Everything's not in the same proportion it used to be. Granted, it's been this way now for about 2 years, but I'm still every once in a while default back to the old me, and I take that corner a little too sharp.
Yeah, well, you move your coffee table 3 inches. 6 months later, you're still bumping your toe on it. It's the same thing.
Exactly right. Yeah. So anyway, okay.
So it's embarrassing. Just out yourselves.
All right. What else do you have?
We've got.
You know what else? Derek Apfel sent a note.
Yeah.
That's with Apfel Funeral Home, and we had said hi to him a few episodes ago because he'd followed. And we'd made mention of their funeral home is one of my favorite follows because it really, just interactive, very funny, very serious when we need to be, but they're Central Nebraska. And so we'd mentioned that Derek had followed us, and he just said, thanks for the shout out. And he really enjoys the show.
Come on our podcast then, man.
Anytime.
Let's do it.
So yeah, he DM'd me, so I will send him a note back.
Big deal.
Right? And see if we can't hook something up.
That sounds like a plan.
Okay, we'll get on that. Okay.
Thanks to Koogler Vision for supporting our podcast.
Absolutely. World-class leaders in their field. Without a doubt, people come from far and wide to have their eyes taken care of by their team. Dr. Lance Koogler, Dr. Mike Stuntz, and the entire team is phenomenal. All you got to do is get online at KooglerVision.com. That's where you make your appointment for your consultation. Have the consultation. They run you through the tests, and the tests are almost fun. Seriously, because you're in this spaceship environment, and you're just rolling through these different tests. And at the end, they can tell you exactly what's going on with your eyes, what you can expect, what they can do for you, and here are your options, and you can decide. And if you want, you may end up doing it the same day, as a matter of fact. So ditching the contacts, ditching the glasses. I know we've talked about the whole paying for glasses over the course of a lifetime. New prescriptions, same with contacts, getting stuff in your eyes when you have contacts and you have to find your glasses. KooglerVision.com. Fill out that consultation. You do it yourself. It's a scheduler right there. You pick the day, you pick the time.
Tell them you heard it on the Pat and JT podcast. Okay, so I just gotta be honest. I don't like reading.
You're gonna give this?
I'm a terrible reader. You would think that I could read. I mean, I hate reading, but I remember in class when growing up that I would hate it when I got, because I get sweaty and pity.
You know what's funny is back in the day, there were things we had to say that were scripted, or we had to make sure we got the facts correct when we were saying something that we were recording for somebody, and invariably
I would screw it up. It's written right in front of me, and I would screw it up.
He'll add words.
Yes,
always add words.
I want to ad lib stuff. I'll try to look at the sentence ahead of me, and then I forget what it said, and I throw. It's just a bad thing.
Add a couple words here, and I'm like, nope,
can't do that.
Do that again. Do it again. Yeah. All right. So this comes from Lori, and just says, "Hey guys, that police chase ended about a block up from where I live. That must have been the one up on Military.
Yeah,
where the kids.
Yep, we were talking about that.
And the canines.
Yep."
Said it was quite an eye-opener out in the front yard, 60 miles an hour, chasing up 69th Street, heading south. 7 minutes later, 60 miles an hour, chasing down 69th Street, heading north. Anyway, very real and kind of scary. When you hear cops yell, get back in your house and lock your doors, you drop your rake and go.
Yeah. That's true. How scary.
So Coal Creek runs behind Woodhouse Ford in that area. Really easy place to run and hide or keep running. You could hear the cops, the dogs barking. Evidently, the kid kept running, got bit, and rightly so. Good dog. And great job by the Omaha Police Department. They got them all.
Have you ever seen a police chase?
No, just on live PD.
On TV. I've seen somebody that wasn't stopped. I don't think it was technically a chase, but I've seen on the interstate somebody, an officer behind someone for probably 3 or 4 miles, and the lights were on and the sirens were going.
Were they going fast?
I mean, probably they were speeding a little bit, but they weren't like trying to no evasive moves or anything.
It's so frustrating for police officers. I am really curious about this, that if they do find this to be more so as technology increases, that people are not checked in when they're in their vehicle. Yeah. They don't even notice what's going on around them. It happens too many times. Like this morning, I was stopped at a left turn. Yeah, at a left turn, waiting for my green arrow. My green arrow goes, I go. I look in my rearview mirror. There's nobody behind me. There was a line of cars behind me, and I could see the little minivan was sitting there, and all of a sudden spun out because all of a sudden somebody lifted their head up.
Yeah,
and realized they were just sitting there, and there was a line of cars behind them.
People do. They check out for sure.
They just do. And I wonder when people are driving that they throw the lights on to pull them over, especially if it's not something like high risk, like they're running from the law because of breaking in or something.
Yeah,
they're just speeding or whatever the case may be, and they don't even realize that the police, how tempted are they to what do they call that maneuver?
Tase them? Oh,
no.
That would be awesome.
No, where they bump the rear tire well.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
Spin them out.
Yeah, there's something.
Yo.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you.
If I go 2 miles following you and you don't acknowledge, taking you out.
Oh, I think 2 miles is like very generous.
I think so too.
I think if you don't hear, you see the lights flip on and you hear the whoop one time.
You should hear it.
I've never had a cop, whoop, have to turn the siren or even give me a blip like that. I see him coming up behind me aggressively, and I'm like, I'm out. I just roll off to the side of the road. And if it's not for me, I've pulled over before, because you're supposed to pull over anyway when you see a cop.
You are.
And the lights were on.
Seen that
and
too many
times
over,
too, and
lately.
It kept on going right past me.
Too many times lately, too. People didn't get over because they didn't even realize. They're sitting at a light, didn't realize they're right behind you.
Yeah.
Didn't move over, didn't hear it. It's got to be infuriating. And I'm sure it's more and more so because people have either have their whatever technology on, or they're texting. Scary. Yeah. I swear. But when you're driving behind somebody and you can see their face in their rearview mirror, not their rearview mirror, their side mirror, you can see their face and their face is looking down. Because I promise you, as the saying goes, nobody looks down in their laps and smiles. So
Almost everybody.
And if you do,
almost everybody.
Don't do it when you're driving. But nobody looks down in their lap and smiles.
There's a guy on 144th by the funeral home that cremates people right there on Harrison.
That's
straight up watching a video.
location,
on his phone.
location.
Right there. Straight up watching a video driving. He was driving, had his phone in front of him, and he was watching, I don't know what it was, watching
Did
something.
you give him the stink eye?
No, because I was turning, I was turning into
you
my
were
neighborhood.
texting.
Yeah. I was too busy finishing a text to my wife. I couldn't be bothered. I was too busy videoing myself, looking down and smiling. So I'm like, whatever. Okay, so Bennett's driving, right? And this is kind of dovetail into the story with Bennett, that on Sunday, he BMOC, big man on campus, with his job at Pizza Machine, that he can get us in at cost for the
That's awesome.
buffet. So it's a couple
Family
bucks.
and friends discount, man.
It's awesome. And then with that, we get like an hour of gameplay, not like non-ticket games, but you can ride the go-karts and whatever. It's fun.
okay.
So we went there and we decided that we were all going to ride in the same car, in Bennett's car. So Beth and I get in the back seat. Sophia's in the front.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
When's the
so,
last
like,
time you rode in the back seat of any car?
2 weeks ago.
Seriously?
Beth makes me ride in the back seat. No, but when we were with her mom, and she wants to always sit in the back, but I always jump in the back just to be respectful.
And let her sit in the front.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So we sat in the back seat,
I don't remember the last time I've been in the back seat.
and he
Okay, go ahead.
think about that really hard.
I'm sorry.
I
I don't remember the last time I was in a car with
last time you were in
somebody.
the back seat was when you were locked in my brother's Civic and he was farting.
Oh, my God.
And he almost gassed, and he gassed at
St. Patrick's Day about 12 years ago.
We'll have to tell that story around St. Patrick's
Okay.
Day. The scar is still there.
Yes, it is.
And the kid, it's like you teach kids and you hope they listen to you and they watch your behavior. I'm a safe driver.
Again, we go with modeling behavior.
Right.
Which is why you said your kids don't eat well.
Right.
I can't.
Right.
But
No.
I know what you mean. But
Well,
modeling.
That's not too far off. We had chicken wings and tater tots last night for dinner.
I don't see anything wrong with
Oh,
that.
so good. Anyway, so he's listened. He's a very, very cautious driver.
Conscientious you're going for.
I was trying.
I know.
I audibled though. Very, very conscientious driver. Very aware. Like he's very looking around all the time. And in the back seat, I was able to watch him. And not like from the side. I could actually observe him and what he was doing. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Great driver, right? So at one point, we were done at the Pizza Machine, heading back to the house, and we're in one of those turning lanes where it's like to go left across oncoming traffic, and you turn into a little turning lane and waiting for the traffic to go by so you can turn left and get into your neighborhood.
Right.
And we're sitting there, and there's cars coming.
Yes.
We're sitting there, and we're sitting there. Cars go by, and we're sitting there. And there's another car that's probably 100 yards away. Plenty of time to go, and we're sitting
Football
there.
field. Okay.
At least. Sitting there. And there's another car. Those cars are spaced about that
now
far
you know
apart.
Why he's late all the time.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and then, so this is my problem, is that he's such a good driver. I don't want to say, encourage him to go. I'm like, dude, you could go. So we just wrote it out because there were 3 or 4 cars spaced almost like that. So we were there probably 90 seconds longer than we needed to. So I'm like, do I tell him, okay, buddy, when it's that far apart, you can go? Or I'd rather have him be late and slow than risk it for the biscuit.
Well, on the other side of that, you've got, if people are behind him, that's dangerous, because then you have the road ragers that are like honking. Then they start honking,
and then he'll get flustered, and then he might pull out. So I'll have a talk with him. But
it is a learning to gauge though. He's only been driving for a few months.
I know,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, so I'd wait and just
then he gets in the neighborhood and goes about 60 miles an hour around the corner, or at least it felt like that.
Did he curve it?
Yeah, no, he didn't
Just
curve
like
it.
Dad?
He didn't. He didn't curve it like Dad. Bend it like Beckham. He didn't.
Riding it on 2 wheels around
Yep,
the corner.
he did.
And around.
At least it felt like that in the back seat. But man,
Is this a 4-door or 2-door?
4-door.
Okay.
Yeah, and he had
goodness.
and
Was Sophie
playing
in the
some-
front then
Yeah.
with
Oh
him?
yeah. And they put his music on, and it was the cussiest sex. Just terrible. Knowing that it would just drive us nuts, but you know what?
Yeah.
We were in the back seat, so.
You should start making out.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I'm just
Next
saying next time.
Next time, he'll be like, you know what? I'm out, and just hit a tree. He'll just hit a tree. That is awesome. We're gonna do that.
Okay. right square
Right
in his rearview mirror.
Buddy, Dad's going to second base. Close your eyes. Eyes forward. Yes, I love it. I love that.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the name of this. Daddy's going to second base.
Daddy's going to second base. that. I'm writing that down.
Did you have any other texts or anything that you needed done? Or are you all good right now?
We're good.
Up?
Yeah. Yep,
Okay.
we are. We're good.
Okay, good enough. I haven't heard anything about my trash can too, by the way. I get a new one tomorrow. So my trash can got swiped.
Maybe it'll just show up one day back on your stoop all battered. Sad.
I don't know. Yeah, wherever it is, I'm sure it's not where it wants to be. I took very good care of it.
I'm sure. It's a very.
It lived in the garage. Okay.
I mean, that's pretty. Well, yeah.
I took very good care of him. Washed him out. Took very good care of him.
Poor guy.
Somebody swiped him.
Probably cooking meth in it or something somewhere.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Did you even think about that? I'm sure
No.
the street value of those trash cans is enormous.
And yeah, the life of a street can.
Uh-huh.
Oh God. Came from the burbs, man. I was at a cul-de-sac. Now I'm a street can.
Lid's getting blown off every night. Wheels are rusted. Poor guy.
Stop blowing my lid.
Right. His logo's all scratched. Oh, man.
Pat and JT Podcast. A Parkville Media Production.